Greetings everyone. Today we are going to talk about installation of toggle switches on the Radiomaster Pocket. As you all know, the Pocket originally comes with these button switches, which honestly I'm not a big fan of. I mean, I always had a hard time figuring out if I had my air mode on or off, because that's how I had mapped it on here. And sure, if you're keen enough, you can probably feel the elevation difference when it's pop and in. But well, as I'm flying, especially in a stressful environment, I always find myself not knowing for sure. But anyways, I posted that on Instagram, and there has been a lot of interest in how I did it. So that is what we're going to talk about today. First off, you're going to have to grab the STL file from the, I think it's a Printables webpage, which I'll post on the description below, and have two of those printed out. I had mine printed out in black PTA, or not even PTA, PETG, because in case wherever I'm flying, the heat may warp if I had printed it out in PLA. So, had those printed out. We'll take this apart. I mean, disassembly is quite easy, and pretty sure there's videos out there to do it, but we'll do some video editing to expedite the opening of the shell quickly. So let's start taking off batteries. And 4 screws. To keep the hard shell together. The pocket transmitter, I find, has been one of the easiest transmitters to work with, and I've seen lots of people have done some pretty cool mods with it, like LED mods. I've done a few myself, not LED obviously. AG01 Mini or nanos to start. Don't do that. Okay, so this is how it looks like assembled. May or may not want to glue this. We'll talk about that later. Right now it's just kind of sitting here, held in place when the clamshell is closed. But you can see these are, by the way, 2 position switches off a Zorro. I had to buy them off a China website because they were very hard to find online unless you bought it directly from Radiomaster. You can see how they are soldered on. And then we will take these 2 off and pull it out, and I'll show you how to remove these from here. It takes a bit of work. You're going to have to be cutting some stuff, but it's worth it in the end to be able to switch it out to these 2 position switches. So let's take out the board. Let's take this part out, the ribbon. This is the buzzer. Gimbal, and LRS module. Anything else? Okay, unscrew. I think that should be it. Now, one thing you may want to be careful of once you take this board out, a bunch of your buttons are going to be floating. These directional joysticks, or what you want to call it, do pop off. They pop in quite easily as well, so make sure they don't fly off on you. Reassembly is easy too, so I'll show you that. Again, I'm pretty sure there's videos out there that can do it, shows you how to do it, but I'll go through that process as well. Okay. Gingerly remove the board. I remember how I did it. I think from the top. Yeah, from the top. Pull out. Move this carefully out of the way. Don't want to kink any of the wires. Oh, almost forgot this one. One more. That is the backlight for the screen. That's got to get unplugged as well. That is it. Move this out of the way. You don't need it. There you go. See, all the buttons are still in place. Jog wheel is kind of still supposed to stay in here. Buttons, power switch. This, I found this power switch button came off quite easily, but easy to put back. Just line it up. So this is SA. It looked like that before. Pin was soldered in from here, and it had a bracket around it. Again, I'll show you the photo pre or post snipping. And then again, you can pull this off to get some room. Like that. All right. So we can zoom this in. So originally it looked kind of like this, and it had a bracket around it. Snip off the bracket, peel it, snip it off here. Don't bother desoldering the bracket. It's pretty tough. But these 3 pins, you will have to take a soldering iron to the back and pull it out at the same time, and then get that out of the way, and rinse repeat on this side. And then when you do get the Zorro switches, they do come with these pre-soldered wires on it with a plug on it. I just ended up cutting it to fit. Be aware that these are not nice silicone wrapped wires. Once you put any hot iron onto it, the coat, the cover, or whatever, the wrap of it, the shrink back. The print that I got of printables for these covers were a bit small, so either I had to adjust my horizontal expansion on my what do you call it, slicer, or maybe my printer, 3D printer, is not accurate, but I have a feeling I just had to play around the horizontal expansion setting. Anyways, I ended up taking a soldering iron and widening the hole on this to make this toggle switch fit. And then once you get it in, tie it and position it to fit. And then it's just a matter of reassembly. You might want to take note of where I soldered it. I don't know if that makes a difference. I soldered red middle, black side. Same thing with this one, red middle, black side. zoom it in just to help. Red middle, black side, red, black. And that's it. Let's reassemble this. And that should be it. The reassembling is straightforward. I had a little bit of difficulty getting this ribbon part in, but patience is all that's really needed to put this together. These are only two things you gotta string through here. Make sure all these buttons are already where they need to be. So disclaimer, I may have damaged one of the LEDs on the switch, so it doesn't work for me anymore, but you know what? IDC, because the LEDs are useless when you have your goggles on and you're like, what position is this button at? And now that I have a better tactile feeling toggle switch, it's useless. It's like there's no point. This is what I'm talking about. Things just don't stay in place that easily on this. And I think I remember taking a long time getting everything to sit in place because something is out of line, or misaligned. Oh, I know why. Okay. Pro tip. This roller needs to be in here first, because it needs to be slotted in through this hole. Man, oh man. Aha! It's in. That took like how long? 10 minutes? Jesus. Okay. The next hardest thing that I found was getting this ribbon back in here. I was trying to make sure this black flap is all the way up, and definitely make sure you don't break it. Okay, glue in. Little magnet to help hold the screw in place. Little hack or tip I guess I can provide there. I mean, I probably suggest you do the soldering of these switches, toggle switches, before putting the board back on, or else doing it while it's in the remote casing is going to be a bit hard, unless you think you're really good, but you risk melting bits of your transmitter. So I would recommend doing it prior. Okay, everything looks secure. Let's plug back the gimbals. Make sure they are right out of the way. Don't forget the buzzer, or the speaker, sorry. Make sure nothing is pinching. That is also very important. This one might be, so I'm gonna have to do it again. Better safe than sorry. Good. That is clear. Okay, make sure nothing's kinked up here. When you solder, again, you can either let the clamshell cover keep these covers in place or glue them on. Up to you. I'm just gonna leave it floating for a while until I find a reason to glue it on. And what else is there to do besides plug it in and make sure it powers on again? Right. And I mean, you can test it before committing. Let's put batteries in and turn on SD card. Don't forget transmitter. Make sure everything powers on properly. So like I said, during installation, this one I screwed up something. LED doesn't illuminate anymore in the back, but you know what? Like I said, don't care. This one still works. Light. Arm switch. That's it. Perfecto. Only thing left, I guess, is to put the, I forgot to mention to put these things back on. Let's see, just square it up and in, square them up and That's it. One of the best mods to do in a Radiomaster Pocket. Why they went with the button, these annoying switch button toggles, when these would have been a lot better. It's beyond me, but at least there is a way to do it. Again, you need these covers and Zorro 2 position toggle switches. That's it. Thanks, folks, for watching. Any questions, please comments or message me below. I hope you found this useful. I mean, I had a little bit of hiccups with the reassembly, but you know what? It's not easy, and we got through it. So, like, follow, subscribe. Keeps me motivated to make more of these videos, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks again, folks. See you soon.